I think that'd be a really bad date.
Specific.
This would not be a bad date for her. It'd be a bad date for you. I'm flipping the table. Blind date with a terrorist.
That's like
I don't know if it's necessarily bad. What if you guys have explosive chemistry?
or something.
Mike, that's going to be
That's
the
a
clip of the
great
day.
joke.
That's going to be the
Thank you.
clip of the day.
Thank you.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows,
As here's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos. It will be a home run.
but it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Moving Forward podcast. Today, I am joined by Mike, Sean, and Adam, and hopefully maybe Logan later. We'll find out. He has class till 9:30. We'll see. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, the Moving Forward Pod, FWD, and Twitter, Moving Forward Pod, same exact thing. TikTok, the Moving Forward Pod, and then I just posted my first NBA 2K rebuild on Loth 11, and also I posted the YouTube version of this there too. So go watch that. Did the Detroit Pistons for the first one, and I just got a K jersey in the mail, but I'll hint to that later. First, we will talk about Michigan and Michigan State, who both won their games pretty decidedly this weekend. Sean, you're the only Michigan fan in this chat. What did you see from Michigan that gives you optimism for this season?
Well, that one's pretty obvious. Their running game, just because that's literally all they did. They rushed the ball like 48 times between Haskins and Corum, which is great because they're very good running backs, and it seems like we're running the ball very well. But I'm concerned just a little bit because it looks like it's going to be a little bit of fool's gold because I haven't really seen much from Cade, and you can run the ball all you want against like inferior teams and you're going to win ball games. But once you start playing against the higher level teams like Michigan State's, Wisconsin's, Penn State's, you're going to struggle if you don't have a quarterback that's able to throw the ball. And yeah, I left Michigan State out of there.
You should lot Michigan State in there. You should. They're
Probably the
elite.
best team in the Big Ten.
I haven't seen anything yet. But yeah, so overall, I like what I saw. We beat a high-level Power 5 team, but I think that was what we were supposed to do. And I'm really nervous about going into Camp Randall week 4 against Wisconsin. That's going to be the game that decides if they're real or not, in my opinion. For right now, I'm staying cautiously optimistic, but yeah, running game's good. That's all I can say, really.
Yeah, Corum and Haskins they're really, really good.
Dude, Corum is an NFL back, dude. He can do it all.
He is.
He moves super fast. He can catch the ball. I would like to see him like be using the pass game a little more because he's just such a dynamic weapon. But yeah, I'm a little worried about our wide receivers now too. Now that my sweet prince Ronnie Bell out for the year.
R.I.P. his sweet prince.
I never got a chance to speak on that, but that was like one of the most heartbreaking things I've seen in a while. He was about to ball out this year.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah.
All right. On the flip side of things, Michael, I'm sure you watched the Michigan State game. What were your thoughts from MSU this Saturday?
Probably the most explosive offense in the country. To score on 2 back-to-back 75-yard plays to start off their 2 opening games. I think they're probably going to be talked about in the realm of like the Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma teams as a team that's just going to consistently put 60 on teams. I think it's probably going to carry out through the entire year. They're going to run through the Big Ten. And I think Alabama should be shaking in their boots a little bit.
They should be shaking in their boots. Miami should be shaking in their boots first. Michigan State opened as a 7-point underdog against Miami, and I'd never been faster to bet a money on Michigan State money line. And I hate how much like faith I already have in this MSU team after 2 weeks, because I think they played a really bad Northwestern team after watching them play their second game. And then obviously Youngstown State, like the Penguins, like cool mascot, but awful team. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, that's really I watched the game too. Kenneth Walker's a real deal. It looks like we both got some good running backs on our hands, but yeah, you can't really say anything yet. It's kind of the same thing with Michigan. You can't really say anything yet because it seems like they both played bad teams. So we've got some tests coming up, but I don't know. As like a anti-Michigan State guy. Even watching them, they look like a solid team. Definitely a big improvement on last year.
Their offensive line is the second highest rated offensive line in the country by PFF.
Good.
Yeah.
And who said, and Blake Buter, friend of the program, absolutely just springing every time that there's a screen pass. He's the leading blocker for that touchdown. I just want to put that out there.
It's crazy. Maybe we should just like interview him or something.
Yeah.
Shout out Blake.
Maybe his former roommate Jake Lothmer can get him on the pod.
Yeah, that seems like a real tough get. I would probably have to beg, but
now let's sit on that one.
Yeah, we'll sit on that one. No need at all. All right.
Yeah,
well,
overall, I feel like we have optimism, guys. Let's come together as one right now. We have optimism. Last year was a steaming pile of shit for all of us. So you were
in Central Michigan for their game this weekend. How did Central look? Did they bounce back after a tough loss against Mizzou?
Oh yeah, we gave Robert Morris the absolute business. They had no fucking excuse for being on Kelly Shorts Field, Kelly Shorts Stadium. It was a beatdown. The Chips are solid too. I'll tell you, they hung with Missouri. Robert Morris will never be the same after that loss. And LSU's on the clock this week. Like, we could make some noise in Baton Rouge.
Oh, it's going to be loud in Baton Rouge. Oh, yeah. They're fucked, to say the least.
If they think Hurricane Ida did a number on their state, wait till the Chips come through.
Chips by 90. Book it.
You know, one thing that Central's actually really known for is they travel really, really well. They travel well. They're considered the Green Bay Packers of fandom in college football. They just, wherever they go, they take over that stadium.
We may not be there physically, but the spirit of Mount Pleasant travels with them. And that's something you can't quantify. That's all I got to say. We've done it before. We beat Oklahoma State on the road. That was the spirit of Mount Pleasant. And now it's about to come back. And I might book it right now. I might bet Chips money line. Straight up.
I think the playoff might be Alabama, Michigan State, and Central Michigan this year, and like one other shoe-in team. Maybe Michigan. We'll see.
They can look over the Missouri game. They're like, this team's so talented. We can give them a little break. Yeah, it's like when Alabama loses a game.
Yeah, did you see that Robert Morris win? We have to put him in. 1-11.
You have to put a one-loss MAC team. To put a one-loss MAC team in the playoff.
When are we going to get respect?
I know exactly.
We play mediocre to somewhat good ball. Put us up with the big dogs. All right.
They're plus 750 money line.
That's easy money.
I thought it'd be worse than that.
I did too. Put the house on it against LSU.
I thought it'd be like plus like 1,200 or something.
They've already shown that they can hang an SEC team. Missouri is probably about the same level as LSU. Like, it's not unrealistic.
What's the spread, Adam?
CMU's plus 19.
Oh, hammer that.
Jesus Christ.
Hammer that.
Just hand me the money now.
Go to the bank and take out a large personal loan and put it on that game.
Actually, the biggest news out of that game day is that Kelly Short Stadium now sells beer, and you can put it on your student ID card. So
you can put it on your student ID?
Yep. I'm going to have some explaining to do at the end of this semester with this.
Holy fuck.
Fire the fuck up.
Yeah, I'll be explaining it to myself because I'm the one that's going to have to pay it. So,
well, you know, Michigan State's still one of 10 schools in the entire country who does not sell alcohol at their sporting events. So
kind of fool's gold though, because they just gave me a red Solo cup. It wasn't even like a stadium cup. It was like I went to a fucking like mixer or something. It was $7. So,
hey, bro, $5 for a cup, as much as you want to drink.
Excuse me, no appropriate frat culture, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
That was rude, Jake.
So rude.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Yeah. You should be.
Should we just stop recording?
Yeah, I think I might leave the podcast.
Should I just do an apology after like the Castellanos thing? And I'm very deepened by my apology as Castellanos goes yard into right field.
I think you got to pull out a notes app now.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure to apologize. Moving on to the NFL, week 1 of NFL is now in the books. Too many games. We're not going to talk about them all. We'll hit a couple of highlights. We'll start with something that makes us all sad. The Lions, they never stop fighting. I think you're going to hear that excuse for the Lions after they lose every single game. That's why they didn't stop fighting. It's going to be Dan Campbell's call to action.
Well, I can already say it's better than last year because
Oh yeah.
at the end of games last year, they looked like they didn't even want to be on the field. So I don't know. I was happy with it because we never stopped fighting. And I'm just going to keep saying it too. Let's just keep repeating that until we feel better because this roster is horseshit.
Oh, it's horseshit, but they play so hard. And I think it's really
Mhm.
like, I think Dan Campbell is having a real effect on this team already. Just based on like how they didn't give up. They were down 38-10.
Yeah.
Like to even come back and make it, I mean, it wasn't that interesting, but semi-interesting. You know, that's pretty crazy.
It was kind of interesting when they got that punch fumble.
Yeah.
Like, I got on my
It
seat.
was.
I'll say it.
It was. I just think like I wasn't confident in Jared Goff, you know, driving down again and
Yeah.
getting another 8 points anyway.
But he had a good
But it
second
was still
half.
interesting. He did. He had a great second half. I'm not saying he's not. He didn't, but
Let's start with
he
positives.
threw some balls. He threw some balls in that first half that missed by 2 or 3 miles.
All right. Let's all do one positive takeaway from the game. All right.
Okay. Let's start with positives. I like that because I was going
All
to
right.
get off later too, but
I'll start. My positive is this offensive line and our running backs are really good.
hey, really fucking good. Sewell looked really good, and he kind of stuck with Nick Bosa. Quite probably the best defensive player in the NFL, minus Aaron Donald.
Mhm.
TJ Watt.
I think we just finally learned like maybe there was a reason why Sewell has always been a left tackle, and that's because that's his natural position. Like he struggled at right tackle, they moved him to left tackle, and he defends Nick Bosa the entire game and kind of holds him in check for 4 quarters. It was super impressive.
He looked good doing it too. Like that's even coming from a guy that doesn't really know like the ins and outs of offensive line technique, but he looked like he was just like a perfect match with him. I don't know if that's like the best way to describe it or not, but he looked good.
Next positive.
First game as an NFL player too.
Good guys, good.
I'll go mine. I think I did just take a shit on Jared Goff, but he did play really well in the second half, and I mean, like really spearheaded that comeback. So it was good to see him do something good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go. Hawkinson is very fucking good.
That's what I was gonna say, dude.
He's like really good. He's an
Yeah.
elite tight end. So that number 8 pick, can't really say anything bad about it now.
All right. Do we want to do negatives now?
Yeah, that seems
Okay.
more natural.
Yep, that seems more natural. Where will I start? Their defensive line still really, really bad. Got pushed
Their whole
around and got
defense.
ran on.
The whole defense is garbage.
Yeah, we can sum that up as the whole entire defense.
Do you guys want to do one collective negative and just have it be the defense?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Okuda with the Achilles blown out now too. Like nothing
He also
good.
looked really, really bad before that
Oh,
happened.
I agree. I agree, and I'm like about to give up on it now that he had that. I mean, an Achilles is a pretty bad injury, and I don't know if he's going to be able to bounce back, but it still sucks to have your third pick out for the season again.
That's just like never really works out when you draft a cornerback that high in the draft. And the only exception really is Jalen Ramsey. But Jalen Ramsey's a freak of nature. He's 6'2", 215. Like no other cornerback's built like that.
Can we
He
just
drafted-
transition right into like that Rams game? Because I'd like to talk more about Stafford, but
Well, I was going to talk about Goff real quick too. 'Cause he's
Okay,
my
yep.
Negative. The step down, we'll kind of intertwine because the step down from Goff or from Stafford to Goff is not doing good for me. Like I don't like watching it. He like Mike said earlier, he was missing some easy ass throws by 5 yards. Like it looked ugly in that first half. He started to kind of settle in, but he's giving me major Kirk Cousins vibes. Like,
oh, that's a good comparison.
I think that's all he's capable of. If whatever's in front of him's open, like there's a wide open guy that can play action, he'll hit that throw. But if we're like driving down the field at the end of the game like we just were, I don't think he's going to make that elite pass, which is going to put us over the top and give us a win. So that's a very big negative.
Yeah. Transitioning into a positive now for the Rams, they have our darling boy, Matt Stafford. It made me so happy and sad at the same time to see Stafford slinging it for another team. But the fact that he's on this team with all these weapons, like I just sat there and just cheered for Stafford the entire night, and it hurt. But he deserves it. and I was super impressed by the Rams. I didn't think the Bears were that great, but Jalen Ramsey on defense, like they're doing it now where they're not just putting him at the corner. Like he was playing some sub linebacker yesterday. He played like weirdly some safety in a couple of spots. And I was like, dude, Jalen Ramsey is so good. The way he just blew up a bunch of plays and everything, like, God, he's like by far the best corner in the league. And I don't think anybody can touch him, but this Rams team is exciting.
Yeah, this rant, like whatever I saw last night it seemed unfair. It seemed like they weren't allowed to be doing this because you'd have Stafford like touching up everyone on the field, throwing great passes, doing Stafford things that we've seen for years, but finally the public got to see him do it. And then we go to the defense side of the ball. You got Aaron Donald and Ramsey. Just unfair. And the whole team looked like a cheat code, in my opinion.
Yeah, two best players on defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
They're fucking incredible. There were some plays, like especially in the first half, where it was like, actually for pretty much the entire first half, like anytime like a Bear would catch the ball or run, there would be 7 Rams around them immediately. Even if it was a positive yard like play, they were just immediately down.
Mm-hmm.
You know when you get that feeling when a defense just looks fast, like they're always just swarming to the ball? That's exactly what they're doing in almost every play.
Do you guys recall the play when the Bears tried to throw a wide receiver screen and Ramsey basically almost tackled Bird and and Goodwin at the same time on that screen pass?
He took them both.
He just
both
exploded.
Arms,
Yeah,
them.
like he took them down like he was a train. It was crazy.
He's so awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to say just for the record, now that we're talking about Stafford, I will never hear slander about him ever again. A lot of Lions fans like to slander him because he never did anything for the Lions, but holy shit, guys, it was the Lions' fault, obviously. He looked like an MVP candidate yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want him to win the MVP so bad.
He had the highest passer rating of his career in his very first game with another team.
And he threw the ball 26 times.
Yeah.
Like when was the last time Matthew Stafford played a Lions game and threw the ball under 30 times?
Against that, actually.
Never.
Been like thrown like 40 passes a game last year, average.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's finish out week 1. We'll do this every week of the NFL season, but let's just do a quick power rankings. We'll do 1 through 5. Mike, what's your 1 through 5, starting with number 5, all the way going to your number 1? Who are your top 5 teams in the NFL right now?
All right. My number 5 is going to be the Cowboys. I thought they looked really good against the defending Super Bowl champion. They couldn't get it to work in the end, but their offense looked awesome. They were playing an away game. I just think they will be fantastic. Number 4. You guys want to do you guys do your 5 then? Or
yeah, sure. Sean,
Okay.
What's your number 5 team?
I'm gonna go. I was gonna say I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. Even though I probably have them a little bit higher, or people would have them a little bit higher, but I don't know. I think their defense played really well. I don't really believe in Ben Roethlisberger, even though they have lots of weapons on that team. They did look good, but that pump block for a touchdown kind of helped them out a lot. And yeah, I don't want to overreact to the first game because they beat the Bills, which is a good accomplishment, but I don't know how good they're going to be the rest of the year. So I got Pittsburgh at number 5.
All right, Adam, did you do a power ranking of teams?
No.
All right. I thought we could include you in this segment, but I guess you can wait a little bit longer.
Good with that.
All right. My number 5 team is the Arizona Cardinals. I think that they're really impressive. I think that they might end up being the second best team in the NFC West this year. They really impressed me. I thought the Titans were going to be a really good team. I knew that their defense was suspect, but the way that they just dominated them when they were on defense was really impressive to me. I thought Kyler Murray looked really good. The only big question mark for me will be the running game from the Cardinals moving forward. I don't like James Conner and Chase Edmonds all that much, but besides that, I really like their team. So I'm going to go Cardinals with the 5th best team. Mike, back to you with number 4.
The Cardinals were my number 4 team. I really liked them. I knew they beat the shit out of. Tennessee's not that great, but there were some throws Kyler Murray made, and seeing him move around, I just really like him, and I think he's going to take a big step this year.
Sean, your number 4.
All right, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. Even though they lost yesterday, I thought it was a pretty big accomplishment for them to go into Arrowhead, play that well. The run game looks really solid. The defense has a lot of stars on it. Myles Garrett and company. I don't know. I believe in Baker too. I think he can make a run this year. And I was just really impressed with them. I watched that whole game yesterday. I mean, the Chiefs look like a wagon again. And Arrowhead, they get stood up somehow. So, yeah, I was really impressed with the Browns. So I got them number 4.
The Browns are also my number 4 team. Super impressed by them. Baker had a really good game. Kind of expected a little bit more from their defense. Their defense kind of let them down at the end of the game, but it is the Chiefs, so you gotta have to take that with a grain of salt. All right, Mike, your number 3 team.
Number 3 team is the Los Angeles Rams. They looked great last night. The only reason I wouldn't put them higher is because my top 2 are going to be the people who played in the Super Bowl last year, who also beat better teams than the Bears. Love Matthew Stafford, love their defense. They have a lot of weapons on offense, and I think they're going to be in the mix for the Super Bowl this year.
All right, I'm going to go with San Francisco at my number 3. They kind of let the Lions back in at the end of the game, but from the first to the third quarter, they were just dominating on both sides. They got Bosa back this year. Does seem like the injury bug still hasn't left them. They had Mostert, he's out for 8 weeks, and their starting quarterback, blanking on his name right now, but he's out for the year too. So yeah, if they can stay healthy, of course they're going to be up there again, but that's just a question. But yeah, from what I saw yesterday, I'm going to have them at number 3.
Yeah, I have them in my top 10, but a little bit further down. With my number 3, I'm actually going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their offense looked electric, but their defense kind of let me down. I know it is the Cowboys, but just expected a little bit more out of their defense. So I just decided to put the Bucs behind the 2 other teams that impressed me way more. So I think we all can agree kind of from here. Do you want to just finish out the rankings real quick? Because I think we're going to hit on all 3 of these teams anyway.
Yeah.
All right. I had the Rams second, then the Chiefs first. Mike?
Ooh.
I had the Bucs second and the Chiefs first. No, sorry. Chiefs second and the Bucs first.
Yeah, I had Chiefs second, Bucs first. I'm riding with
right.
Brady still.
Yeah, Brady looked amazing.
Yeah, he did.
You guys want to hear?
What's
You guys
up?
want to hear NBC Sports' top 5 power
Yeah.
rankings?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Let's see how much better we are.
All right, so they had the 49ers at number 5. They had Seattle at number 4.
Hmm.
The Rams at 3, Kansas City at 2, and then the Bucs at 1.
Okay.
I had the same top 3.
Seattle seems a little high to me. I think the Colts are
Yeah.
actually going to be pretty bad this year.
Me too.
They had
That little company NBC has their nice little rankings, but I think I trust ours a little more.
Yeah. Much better production on our side. All right. That'll wrap up the NFL. We'll do a pick 'em at the end of the week. Me and Michael, so far we're 3-2, waiting to see about this Ravens game. But me and Mike gave 3 winners and 2 losers. So you'll take that percentage every week.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll take that.
I'll take that.
All right. After this, we will now move on to love hate, and let's get it right into it. Sean, how about you start us off? What is your love this week?
Okay, I'm gonna go with Daniel Ricciardo from F1. You know, I'm a noted F1 enthusiast, and usually with F1, holy shit, yeah, that's gonna be my hate. I've been sick as fuck for a week, so my bad. But yeah, usually with F1, the same 2 guys win every week. My favorite dude, Daniel Ricciardo, really nice guy. Look him up, funny dude. He's been on like Part of My Take, famous podcasts like that, and he won his first pole. Or he won his first Grand Prix, as they call it, and since 2018, I think. So I stayed up and watched that. It's great. I was very happy. F1's a fun sport.
I need to watch Drive to Survive. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I want to watch it.
Yeah, you have to start with Drive to Survive, and then you can actually get into watching F1. If you just hop into F1, you'll be super confused. It'll mean nothing.
So you're saying you love this guy's pole?
I love it.
Okay, I just wanted to clear it up. I wanted you to.
No, on the record, I love Daniel Ricciardo's sport.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure you
No, you
everybody
heard
heard
me.
that. Sean loved his pole.
Say it back one more time.
Sean loved, what's his name? Daniel Ricciardo's pole.
Correct.
All right.
All right, Adam, what's your love this week? Let's get producer Adam involved.
All right. My love is that DK Metcalf and Rodrigo Blankenship finally met each other at the end of the Colts Seahawks game. I think it's so funny because I don't think you can come up with two people that could be more different than each other. Like they are on complete opposite sides of the spectrum, and I think it's so funny that they're in the same league together.
Yeah, that meme's been floating around Twitter for like years. Where it's just a
Yeah.
picture of him and then Rodrigo Blankenship on the other side. I didn't know they met. I didn't even see that.
Rodrigo looks like a guy that like I would walk into a class and then like sit away from. Like he doesn't look like a professional football player.
You know the kicker from Blue Mountain State? That's how I think Rodrigo Blankenship acts in his everyday life.
No, I think he acts exactly how he says he acts. He just builds Legos with his girlfriend all day. He seems like one of those guys when you like walk into a classroom and they have like that off-brand laptop and they sit in like the very front and they're just typing away.
playing.
They never say a word, but they're either playing a game or like on some other like programming website.
Yeah, I was about to say he seems like a guy who would just be sitting in the front of the class with that off-brand laptop, just cranking out World of Warcraft as he's like the number one like challenger in the entire world, or like cranking out like some weird 90s on Fortnite or something like that. I don't know.
And he gets an A in everything, no matter what.
He looks like a big question asker. That's a lot of questions.
Like one of the really weird questions, like, so professor, how do we interpret the meaning of blah 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 blah? Just ask something simple. And he just wants like the most in-depth, like weird shit. I don't know. Odd guy.
He definitely looks like he needs a swirly.
I think it's the glasses. If you wear glasses, it's stupid. Imagine not having perfect eyesight. Losers.
Oh, can't believe those people. Oh, ugh. All right. My love this week will be Chinese basketball jerseys. I'm back into my Chinese basketball jersey grind. I ordered a Cade Cunningham jersey about a month and a half ago, and it finally got here. And I love when it gets here and the NBA logo looks a little bit off, or the color blue or red or whatever looks a little weird. But my Cade jersey came out pretty good. It's like the best you can get for like a $20 jersey you get from China. So I'm happy with it. And I'm getting excited to debut it soon at a local bar near you.
I thought you were talking about like you got a Shanghai Sharks jersey or something.
Yeah, so
like you've been really into like the CBA. You've been
Nope.
watching a lot of like Jingdao Tigers or something.
I'm more of a Shanghai Sharks fan, but okay.
Go
I
Sharks.
remember those days. I was super into those Chinese websites in high school. I have like 25 jerseys all from there. And to combine like $100 too, because they're just so cheap. But you didn't get the teal one?
The one at the time when I was getting it, they didn't have a teal option. I plan on getting a teal sooner than later. It'll be
I would
one of
spend the
future
money.
purpose.
I would spend the money on an authentic teal one.
Yeah,
I wouldn't spend a lot of money on authentic jerseys, but I would get an authentic Cade Cunningham teal one.
Yeah, because you can really fuck up a teal pretty bad.
Yeah.
On a Chinese one, you could get it like it would basically be a green Pistons jersey.
I was gonna say it might come like neon green.
It might look like the Chicago Bulls when they used to wear like their St. Patrick's Day jersey and it was green with red. It would basically look like that.
It's gonna come to you and it's gonna be brown.
Oh, it's a big risk, but I think the risk reward out of that is higher in the reward side. So I might have to pull the trigger if I can find one.
Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, wrap up the love.
All right. My love is Texas losing to Arkansas. I've been very anti-Texas joining the SEC, and they just got the shit kicked out of them by Arkansas, who hasn't won the SEC since 1989, and they were projected to finish last in the SEC West. So fuck Texas. I don't like them, and they just got a little preview of how much they're going to get the shit kicked out of them in the SEC.
Yeah, when Arkansas tweeted "Welcome to the league" after beating them, that was savage.
Oh
as
my
fuck.
God.
Savage.
Allen Iverson step over on them.
Yeah.
Texas should like be running with their tails between their legs back to the fucking what am I blank? Big 12. Jesus, it took me a second. They should be running back to them and begging to get back to their conference because they had it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing this to themselves.
If I'm Texas, I'm trying to join the AAC as fast as I can. They belong in the Southwestern Conference, not the Southeastern Conference.
Texas and Michigan should just make their own conference where
Yeah.
they play each other.
Texas, Michigan, and Nebraska.
Yep. Okay.
They can just
Nebraska
all-
is not. No, they're not on that list.
Yeah, how dare you?
Hey, I keep seeing all the Nebraska and Oklahoma promos for this week. Like they're hyping it up to be some.
I know. I was thinking.
historic, like great game.
I was
Nebraska-
thinking the same thing. Yeah. What are the like? Can I do a change the line of the game to do minus 85 for Oklahoma?
Whatever the max is, I would bet the max on Oklahoma covering that spread.
I would too.
Put the tuition on it.
Throw it down.
Yes. But that will wrap up the love. Now let's move on to the hate real quick. All right, Adam, how about you start us off? What is your hate for this week?
My hate is gonna be how much it rains where I live. I feel like it rains way more in Saginaw, and I have to think about if my apartment is going to flood because I'm on the bottom floor. And there's an apartment complex that's pretty close to where I live, and a bunch of their apartments flooded. So yeah, I'm just waiting to open up my door, and my carpet is just going to be soaked. So
All right. I hope yours doesn't flood.
thanks. Me
From the
too.
bottom of my heart, I hope your apartment doesn't flood.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you mean it rains more?
Dude,
It's raining everywhere.
for like, oh, I guess for, yeah, compared to like
Kind of
down
somewhere.
in like Howell and stuff, but yeah, I guess you're in Mount Pleasant too, but I don't know, for like past like week it's been raining just like nonstop.
It's
Today's
that
like
tropical rainforest in mid-Michigan.
exactly.
How's a rainy day in Saginaw? It's got to be kind of
Stinky.
sad.
Pretty gloomy.
Because there's so much to do in that local Saginaw area on a rainy day.
Oh,
Not a whole lot to do on a sunny day. I don't think. I've only been to Saginaw a few times, but
they got the pride and joy of Northern Michigan. What's that restaurant we went to? I forgot it.
Northern Michigan. Northern Michigan's in Marquette.
Mid-Michigan.
Oh,
What's the restaurant we went to, Adam?
Oh, Beef O'Brady's?
Yep, Beef O'Brady. We got that hot spot, so
Yep.
I enjoyed my time. Bay City, you gotta look out for.
Bay City's fun. Yeah.
I don't know. One of my favorite college memories is from visiting Logan at Saginaw Valley. After that, one girl was puking and grinding and kissing all over everybody. Still one of the
do a story
best things ever.
about that.
Yeah, maybe one day. Mike, what's your hate this week?
my hate is that I went 20 years without having NFL Red Zone. Yesterday, I literally just watched it from whatever. I think the game started at 10 here, and I watched it until the Monday night game or the Sunday night game, which was amazing. It was a fantastic Sunday yesterday because of an NFL Red Zone and also Wingstop. I got Wingstop for the first time yesterday for lunch, and it's fucking amazing. So good.
This is my first year without NFL Red Zone because we have the ticket, but we don't have the Red Zone package in it, and it fucking sucks. Because I had to watch commercials yesterday, and I saw a bunch of commercials about Wingstop, and I literally said out loud, "Man, I wish we had a Wingstop around here." So it sounds like you just lived my dreams yesterday.
I can't believe
it's so good.
I can't believe you and watched commercials, Sean. The Red Zone, commercial-free football, 7 hours.
7 hours commercial free
I haven't even
football.
got to listen to Scott Hansen the last couple of years because I've been watching DirecTV's like Red Zone package.
Andrew Siciliano.
He's not bad, but it's not Scott Hansen. He doesn't bring the energy like Scott.
Yeah.
Scott gets you like jacked up. You're ready to like run through a goddamn wall before kickoff even starts.
When they hit, Mike, how was your first Octobox experience? When they showed the Octobox at the 1 o'clock kickoff, did you not?
How hard did your dick get?
Honestly, it was a little bit of sensory overload. It gave me a headache. I got scared. I hid under a blanket for 30 minutes actually until I was ready to come back out. 8 boxes is too many boxes.
It's
You
kinda
can never
like
have too much box.
It's a lethal injection of football. Like, I feel like it's like a snort. You're like snoring a line of football, and you're just sitting back. Your eyes are wide. You don't know what to do.
It's like
Where
it's like the snow meme from the NFL snow game, except it's I love cocaine, and it's like you putting your face in the octo box, and it's saying I love cocaine.
It was more fear for me, honestly. I started hissing at the TV.
Every year I have a tradition. I think it just drives my dad crazy because it's now been going on 5 or 6 years where just every time that I see the octo box, I just scream octo box. And Zeke did not like that yesterday. I just yelled octo box, and Zeke started barking, but I was excited. So
I can see how that could be annoying.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I'm probably going to call animal control on you.
Just
Piece
a
of
calm
shit. That's
off in the
abuse.
household, and all of a sudden, Octobox just rocks the entire house.
Jake, the next dog you should name him. Next dog you get, you should
Octobox.
name him Octobox. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. One day, if I ever get a dog, I vow to name it like Octo or something like that, and it'll be short for Octobox. All right. Mine's also football related, so I'll carry off that. Everyone's always excited, super optimistic for their fantasy seasons to start. I was pretty happy with my team's output, except for one motherfucker, Ryan Fitzpatrick. If you ever hear this, you dumb bitch, I hope your hip never gets fixed, you old man. He scored 0.2 fantasy points for me. I was going to lose anyway, but I could have started Jameis, and I talked myself out of it for Ryan Fitzpatrick. So fuck you, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and fuck myself too. I hate you both, me and him.
The injury had something to do with that.
Yeah, I think the injury probably played a part.
I think
Yeah, he still got hurt. It was still a quarter and a half in until he got hurt, and he still only had 0.2 fantasy points. I don't care.
Wow, I think you're being
Fair,
hard on him. This might be the end of his career. He's an old man. A hip injury might send him into retirement.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I can't imagine the NFL without Fitzmagic.
I think he's gonna stay on. He'll be like an honorary like backup. He'll never get in the game, but you'll just see him with the beard and the hair and the clipboard for hopefully until we die. I just want to die seeing him.
I pray I outlive this motherfucker so I can piss on his grave.
Jesus Christ, man.
Jesus Christ.
Get off of Ryan Fitzpatrick. It wasn't his fault. All right, well, I'm gonna actually hate someone that deserves to be hated. And that's Aaron fucking Rodgers. Whatever I saw yesterday, that was the biggest piece of shit quarterback performance. And I've been a staunch hater of this man. I think we all have for years. Probably my whole entire conscious life, I've hated Aaron Rodgers. And yesterday, this year, I decided to draft him in 3 fantasy football leagues.
Oh,
Yeah, he had 1 point. 1 single point. Fucking second in fantasy points last year. Run MVP of the league. He takes his little time this offseason. He has his fun. Oh, God damn it. Sorry. Being all surly, being all like, oh, I want to host Jeopardy. I'm smarter than everyone. I'm just going to go on the NFL football field. I'm just be Aaron Rodgers again. No, he sucked. He fucking sucked. I have nothing else to say.
Did you see his QBR would have been higher if he threw every pass into the dirt?
No,
if he would have thrown every pass into the dirt, his QBR would have been like a 36, and he had a 32.
Personally, I was happy to see him do badly, but
I was as well.
I could see why, in your case, I would love to have Aaron Rodgers as my fantasy quarterback. He would have almost, how many points did he have, Sean? 1.32 or something like that? He had 1?
No, 1 single point.
He had 5 times more points than my quarterback scored me. 5 times more.
Well, he didn't get hurt. He was just bad.
Yeah,
Like,
he played like he just got taken out.
He played the entire game. He played the
out of
football
him,
game. And then he took himself out in the 4th when he could have got garbage time touchdowns. It's like, oh, not my day.
I think he's tanking.
For Tua.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it, though. Like, you do all that shit in the offseason. You do, like, the little dance where you say you're never coming back, and then you come back with a week left. Skip everything. Skip all the workouts. You have to come out and play at least average. You can't come out and lay like one of the biggest stinkers of your career. Yeah, it was a tough day for me because usually that's like my favorite day when Aaron Rodgers plays bad. So I was fighting my own brain. I shouldn't have drafted him. Goes against everything I believe in.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers rant. That's all I have to say.
No, I get it. It's definitely the heart versus the brain, because in your heart you hate him, but in your brain you're like, please, I need fantasy points. So
That's
it
one of
makes
my
sense.
main like fantasy rules too. I always draft guys I don't hate. Like
Yeah.
easier to root for. Like you don't want to root for someone you despise.
I'm starting to early season run into the issue of being in multiple leagues and having to root against your own players at the same time.
Yeah, that was gonna be my second hate actually. I overdid it. I have way too many fantasy football teams. I was like checking my phone constantly all day yesterday, and it kind of stressed me out. I was just on the fantasy football app for like 7 straight hours. I couldn't keep track of it all. I'm in random leagues. I kind of got addicted to drafting this offseason.
Yeah.
I have like 8 leagues.
Red Zone's motto is 7 hours of commercial free football. Sean's motto yesterday was 7 hours of mental torment on the fantasy app. So
Yeah, I was sweaty. I just wanted a nice, relaxing day, but I was just fucking sweating out the most random games. I'm in a league. I'm in one of those like randomly generated ESPN leagues, like ones like random people. Just felt like drafting one day.
Why? Yeah.
I don't know. It was like a $25,000. I was like a $2,500 prize if you like have a team. I thought it was like whoever has the best team wins the prize, but no, it's a raffle. So got that team to worry about now. It was a weird day yesterday.
weird day. All right, let's move on to something maybe even a little bit weirder. We are doing the draft of worst first dates. So I'm not going to give any context to this because we were struggling to see what we were going to do for this because they have some realistic ideas and then there's some ideas that are just obnoxious. I pitched the idea of going on the date and then blowing up in the car. So that is not something that you can do. It actually has to be a first date that is either bad or a first date that could go wrong somehow, but not wrong in a fatal way, like some kind of flaw presents itself. I think, did I explain that well? Is that the best way to explain it?
Yeah.
I think you might have over explained it. I think it's just like worst places you can, worst things you can do as a first date.
Worst things, places that can be a first date.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll pick it up.
My friend. Just
They'll
something.
pick it up. I'm still overthinking this. This might be.
I think you are.
We'll figure out. Should we figure out a punishment right now? Because it's going to be fucking me doing this punishment because I'm overthinking this shit so hard.
I don't know, but I just want to do a quick peek behind the curtain. Before we even got on this, Jake was like sweating, stressing out, like he needed answers to like how to draft for this. So
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with this. But Sean, you were the champion of the last draft, so you can select the order. I'm still waiting on that drunken NFL Combine video, Adam and Logan.
I know. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
well, I'm
Not saying when, but we're gonna do
Hey,
it.
he said they'll do it.
Okay.
We're gonna do it.
gonna fucking do it. All right, so I was thinking the punishment for this is you have to take yourself out on a date by yourself.
Oh,
I actually have an idea, like an idea, with one of my that relates to one of my picks that could work with that.
so do you want to talk about the punishment at the end of the draft then?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's talk about the
All right.
punishment then.
Sean, pick the order.
All right, I'm gonna do an interesting order. I'm gonna go Adam first, Jake second, Mike third.
Fuck. I have more opportunities to screw it up with the second pick. Wait, you want to do Mike third or you fourth? Or the other way
I'm
around?
gonna be fourth, Mike's third.
Okay.
You're second,
All right.
Adam first.
Adam, with the first pick in the worst dates draft.
I'm
you
gonna
select-
go with the Holocaust Museum. I don't think I need to explain it. That's my pick.
That is a 1-1 if I've ever
That
heard
is
of
a
one.
perfect pick.
Holy shit.
Oh my God.
You
All
took
right.
Well, you kind of took one of mine. I can kind of still use it, but outstanding.
Wow. Okay. With the second pick, I'm gonna take the 9/11 memorial.
All right. I mean,
All right.
I don't know how to do this. It feels like after Adam took that, I had to take another place where a tragedy happened.
you could have done your pick that you told me about.
Well, you're not going to take it, and I think you can get back to me later, Mike.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, fair point.
I don't know. Fine, I'll fucking do this punishment, but I'm still baffled by this draft. Maybe it'll turn around for me.
I don't know, Jake. I don't know why you're
I don't
having such
know.
a hard time with it.
Dude, me neither. I really don't. It's a simple concept to grasp, and my brain just can't figure it out. I'm also confused, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. With the third pick, I'm going with taking her to a funeral.
Yep. That's a pretty clear one.
Yep.
All right. With the fourth pick, I'm going to go with taking her to a restaurant where your ex-girlfriend works and
Oof.
she's the waitress.
Yep. That's a
Kind
good
of a
one.
niche. Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
A niche one, but that situation sounds horrifying. And then for the second one,
That one's a
go
wordy.
with a minor league hockey game.
All right. Yeah, not bad.
No, that's fucking wait.
I feel like that's not actually that
I
bad.
might have actually
I
just
would-
choked that thing.
That'd be
Yeah, I
fun.
feel like that's decent.
No, a minor league hockey game, and then you leave her there, and then you have to
No, that's not how that works.
I just choked that pick. I thought of an office joke, and I I did not quote it correctly. Wow.
All right. So my next pick is going to be having her come over to help clean out your garage.
Oh, that's a good one.
Damn.
Yeah,
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, I think just the act of just going through that whole cleaning process and being weirdly sweaty around her without even
Yeah.
knowing her. It's not
Having her come over and wash your windows,
Yeah.
power wash your driveway, any kind of like lawn chore.
Inviting her to go on a double date with you and your parents.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Right
I
off
thought
the
for
bat.
sure you were
Oh,
gonna say
first
like
date.
Yeah, first date.
Settled
I
in.
thought for sure you were gonna go with like a Vietnam memorial or something.
I think I'm starting to finally get this. Stop talking, Mike. I think I finally get it.
I thought Jake was gonna panic pick every memorial you could think of. The Korean War Memorial.
Oh,
You're lucky I didn't get to the California wildfires. That was going to be my next.
All right. I'm gonna go with Hooters.
Hooters is a bad one.
It's a bad
Yeah.
one.
That would just be weird. I don't know why you would go there with any significant other.
Okay.
Is it me again?
Yep, you got two.
Go to a taxidermist.
Yeah, that's a weird day.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah. Yep.
You have to mull
Mhm.
over which dead animals you want hanging up in your house for the foreseeable future.
Okay, I think I'm finally starting to get this. Taking her to go get your dog put down. Good?
That's
Yeah,
Bad?
you're picking it up now, Jake.
Now you're heating. You were heating up.
Oh my God, that's a good
He's
pick.
got the hang of it.
Okay, it just took me a second. The first round was a warm up.
I'm gonna go with taking her to a porn convention.
Oh, that's a good one.
Son of a. That was literally. That was my next pick. I've got nothing on the board. My board is taken.
I'm bad.
Damn. I didn't even think about that.
That's a really good one.
That's pretty solid.
Okay, I'm gonna go with taking her to your furry club. Furry club meetings. That's off the top of the dome. That's a weird time. Without
Yeah,
telling.
one more. Of course, without telling her. She's
Well,
not
it's going to be
go
a
with
pretty
us.
dead giveaway when she gets in there and you got a bunny costume on with a.
You're wearing a
ass-
little
You're
Okay.
wearing a bunny costume with the
I'm assuming you
ass
don't
cut
drive
out.
to the convention with like the fox costume on, but as soon as you get there, though,
Well, Sean, I'm a
Nobody changes
method.
those things.
I'm a method actor, so I have to get into character before I get to the venue.
okay.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Next draft is going to be all furry related.
Yep. Good with
I'm
that.
not stalling time to look one up
Furry
right now.
convention do's and don'ts.
Sean might be Googling worst first dates currently.
No.
No? Your last pick, Sean.
I got one. Taking him to an amateur comedy club. Not professional.
Making her do an open
like-
mic.
I would say an open mic. An open mic at your church. There it is.
Poetry reading.
Yeah, you're gonna get some slam poetry. You're gonna get some spoken word. It's all gonna be bad. A nervous comic's gonna come up and bomb. It's just gonna be uncomfortable for everyone. And no one's gonna have a good time.
All right. My last pick is going to Buffalo Wild Wings and making her do the Blazing Wing Challenge. Which I was going to say should be the punishment for this.
Oh, I don't think I would make that out alive.
I think
you might have a medical exemption.
I think Sean's idea might be a little bit more understandable. But
I like the first. I like taking yourself out to like a restaurant, table for one. You sit alone and eat.
In the tux.
yeah, in a nice
You gotta
outfit.
dress up.
I would say nice. How about like polo and above? A polo and jeans. That's a weird look. Well, should we say a suit and tie?
Not a suit and tie.
I don't have a suit.
Oh, sure you don't.
Let's
but-
finish the draft and let's continue this conversation. I'm gonna go with the one that I told Mike before this started. A blind date with a woman who is from ISIS or the Taliban, a terrorist. I think that'd be a
That's
really bad date.
specific.
This would not be a bad date for her. It'd be a bad date for you. I'm flipping the table. A
That's
blind
a
date with a
draft.
terrorist.
That's like
I don't know if it's necessarily bad. What if you guys have explosive chemistry?
or something.
Mike, that's gonna
That's
be
a
the clip
great
of the day.
joke.
That's gonna be the
Thank you.
clip of the day.
Thank you.
All right, this one is from Logan. He said, going to the butcher, the meat shop.
I don't know though. That's kind of a power move.
Having her pick out her favorite cut.
Yeah.
Taking her
That's a
like
good one.
taking her like a slaughter, then taking her like a slaughterhouse to see
Make her go
Yeah.
to a farm, pick out a pig, and then watch
Mhm.
it get killed and then eat it afterwards.
I was just gonna say have her pick out her own meat.
That's what I was gonna say. Like she goes
Yeah.
to the slaughterhouse, sees the horrors of a slaughterhouse. She picks individually which cow in the slaughterhouse goes. You see the whole process. Then you take your meat home.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Have you guys seen
I
that
don't know
Parks
if
and Rec
it's
episode where
appropriate.
Yeah, the
What-
pig.
yeah,
Ron
when
brings
Ron's
the
setting
pig.
up the barbecue and he just brings a live pig out? That reminded me of that. Damn.
Wow, I really choked that second round pick. Discussed it a little bit.
What was it?
Minor league hockey game.
Minor league hockey game.
Sean, what joke were you trying to pull off?
Can I go with like low minor league? Like not even like a fun, not like the Griffins, Grand Rapids Griffins.
You said minor league hockey game. That's
Yeah,
what I wrote
don't
it
know
down
what- I
as.
don't know what you want.
I don't know how I can
Thinking,
change
like,
that.
Now I'm thinking of like some good ones too. Like
Yeah, go ahead, share.
you're at your uncle's birthday party. Exposure to whole family. You don't really like not too excited to be there, so it's just your uncle.
What about just
You gotta,
hanging
Just
out with
your uncle, yeah.
you gotta bring your uncle a present.
Go to the water park with your uncle.
a double date with your uncle and her uncle? You both bring your uncles.
Hanging out with your racist side of the family. You know, we all have that. That's
Good
a
one.
it's a pretty decent one. I also had eating ribs as one. Can get messy,
Yeah.
kind of gross.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
that with the blazing
good
thing as well, but
I would say an exercise class. Like, I don't know. That could be fun though. See, every single one of these, I'm kind of thinking like a version where it could be fun. That's why I kept getting tripped up.
Like a 1 rep max workout session. It's your first date.
Well, I think the problem with the
Every
exercise class, if you try to like load up too much weight and then you just end up like tearing your labrum. A
I'm
cardio
picturing
routine.
her like rep, like getting one like bench rep or something, and
One
then you
mean
just look
clean.
down at her and go, Ah,
You just keep showing her up
Or
all
wait.
right.
every weight.
Last one did better.
Doesn't look like you have what it takes.
Jesus. Anybody else have any other honorable mentions before we wrap up this episode?
Camping. Fuck. Camping. That just came fucking shit.
Yeah, I think camping's a
So many-
sneaky good one too, because it could either go really, really well, or she thinks that you're gonna murder her in the woods.
Well, if you think first date too,
Yeah, that's a good
that's
point.
a really personal
That's
experience.
a bold one to, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta share a tent. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna come off like a serial murderer.
Oh, what about taking her to an escape room? Because I get overly competitive at escape rooms and I get yelling at people. That could
Now
be
we're cooking. We're cooking.
could be
with
bad.
grease now, Jake.
I'm fine. I'm happy I found my way halfway through this draft.
Full disclosure, did not prepare for this draft. I thought we were doing best date ideas and a mix of worst date ideas. So I might be going on a date by myself this week.
Sean, I think it might be you or me. Maybe we could link up and go on a really bad. What about the two lowest people? I guess Mike can't do this, but I was gonna say, what if the two lowest people link up and went on an awful date somehow?
I think wearing suits to like McDonald's and you sit on the inside.
Sit on the same side of a booth while wearing suits together at McDonald's.
You got to crash a funeral.
That'd be epic, dude. Like, Ron.
All right. That will wrap it up for the draft and wrap it up for the episode. Quick recap of just want everyone to hear these picks again because they're great. Adam took the Holocaust Museum, Hooters, going to a taxidermist, and taking her to the butcher. Really good picks, Adam. I went the 9/11 Museum, a double date with your parents, taking her to go get your dog put down, and a blind date with a terrorist. Michael went taking her to a funeral, having her come clean out your garage, taking her to a porn convention, and making her do the Blazing Wing Challenge. I don't know why that one cracks me up the most. Taking her to a restaurant where your girlfriend is a waitress. Great first round pick, Sean. He brings it back with minor league hockey game, but then really wraps out the draft strong with taking her to the furry club meeting and taking her to an open mic night at your church. All great picks from the boys. Good job. I can't wait to see this graphic. This might be the most electric graphic by far.
It's going to be a bitch to find some of the
I think there's a lot more hockey haters out there than you guys think.
I just think like going to a game is never like a bad thing.
I had that as my number one pick of best date ideas. That was my
Yeah, minor league hockey game.
is pretty high on my
no,
list.
a sports event, not minor league hockey.
That's your
I'm
number
gonna clip
one.
this and I'm gonna put it below the tweet. My case for the minor league hockey game. It's a very low level hockey game. It's probably in like a city like I don't know, fucking
Grand Rapids,
or something.
no
I'm
downtown.
thinking like
Plymouth.
all right, the Griffin or it goes the Wings and the Griffins. Those are like elite teams. I'm talking about the ones that are down low, like a semi-pro league almost. So you go to like a shitty stadium, there's like 25 people there, and you're watching bad hockey. That's my visual.
You could have said like taking her to your league dodgeball game.
No, I was taking her to go see like your fourth grade cousin play a soccer game. Like, that could have been bad.
Oh.
Taking her to watch a little league game that you have no stakes in at all. Like none of the kids.
Taking her to your over 25 and up softball game.
Have her come to your intramural sporting event, like something real bad.
That always impresses them though.
All right.
What about like watching a sports game together that you have an unhealthy amount of money on?
That's a pretty bad one.
That could go pretty bad.
That's a good one. A lot of screaming.
I'd hope knowing myself, I know I wouldn't have the self-control, but I would hope I'd have the self-control in that situation, not to just scream the entire time. But alas, another draft come and gone. We'll do a 48-hour poll. Loser has to go on a date by themselves, wearing a somewhat nice outfit. Doesn't have to be a suit and tie, but you got to dress up for it a little bit. You got to go on a date by yourself, dinner for one at a sit-down restaurant. Can't be fast food. You have to go sit by yourself and eat dinner.
I would say Applebee's or above.
I would say Applebee's.
Yeah.
Applebee's and above. All right. Sounds good. And no sitting at the bar. It has to be a booth.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right. that will wrap up this episode of the Moving Forward podcast. Of course, check us out on Instagram and Twitter, Moving Forward Pod, FWD, the TikTok, the Moving Forward Pod, and then the YouTube version, which will go up early, Loth 11. Check us out there. We will do another podcast later this week. We'll preview NFL Week 2, another week of college football, and we'll do a couple other segments. Hopefully we can get Logan back for that one. Until next time, peace.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows,
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
but it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.